Can we tell that story?
Yeah, you can tell the story.
I remember, so Garn had liked this photo of like a woman who was in a Naruto cosplay, right?
Right.
And it was heavily cropped, so all
Yeah.
you could see was like her
It
shoulder.
was
upwards.
Tsunade. Because
Yeah.
how I found it was Revel House D Cydia
Of
had
course.
liked it, and I thought I saw the top half, and I thought, oh, that's a good
It looked
cosplay.
like a wholesome cosplay.
Yeah, I'll like that one.
We were all sitting in the living room, right?
Yeah.
Then Sydney barges in. Is like, God, what the fuck have you like? And we're all like, why?
What's going
wrong?
on?
So we go and we expand this image, and like 70% of it is her with her ass, like full bare ass.
Yeah.
out.
So the exact pose she was doing, it was like top half was like this, but then the bottom half was just like this.
He was like, wait, what? So he goes and opens it. He's like, oh shit! and we all went to it to Twitter and look, because there's like 6 of us in the living room,
Yeah.
and we all went to go and see it. We all started fucking pissing ourselves laughing because Connor just basically retweeted this. You know?
Oh my god.
It was so funny.
No.
Holy shit, I nearly fucking lost it. I was laughing about that for like a week.
Yeah.
It was. I'm gonna find the photo and send it to you, Dan.
Yeah.
Speaking of weird stuff on Twitter, you've been watching some weird stuff on
Speaking
YouTube.
of stuff on Twitter, stuff has been happening on Twitter.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, YouTube. Every single YouTube community seems to be on fire. We're
Yeah.
doing pretty well though, anime YouTube, right?
Surprisingly.
So far.
Surprisingly.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of wild right now. I mean, I don't really want to get into the specifics of all of
Yeah.
it because
No.
it's all speculation.
I'm sure
anyway,
if you guys have a Twitter account, you know what's been happening.
Basically, the whole of YouTube's on fire, and every day you log in on Twitter, it's just
Twitter's
20
just adding the
20
fuel to
Twitlongers?
the fire.
yeah. I mean, it's just at this point, it's just like exhausting, right?
It's so hard to keep up with. And like, I obviously don't want to sit here and be like, you know, fuck the victims or whatever. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is that it's so exhausting. to
No,
keep
as
up with.
I don't know, shall I say consumer or just person on the internet? There's just too much information for me to be able to keep up with everything that's going on now.
Yeah,
so.
there's only so many Twitlongers I can read in a day
and-
before I just start to the big sigh starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to care, right? I want to support all these people who
Yeah.
are coming out with all these statements, but I also don't want to like help a situation that I don't understand anything about. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then also there's just too many. Like
Yeah.
it feels like our brains are being like DDoSed right now by
Yeah,
like
yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like not only is the world ending with coronavirus, which we've just forgot about.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to deal with all this shit and figure that out. And it's just, oh my God. It's impossible. To
Like,
keep
I
up
don't
with.
even know how the drama channels are keeping up with all the stuff that's coming out.
Oh, they're just frothing at the mouth, aren't they? It's with all this content. I mean, I made a joke on Twitter saying like the only people benefiting from 2020 are the drama and news channels, but it really does seem that's the case, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody else is just so sick of what's happening. Like, and I feel bad saying that, right? Because
No,
as you
because
said, like,
I just wish it didn't happen. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
It's tragic that the bar for being a semi-decent content creator is just not touching kids now.
it's just keeping your genitals in your
yeah,
pants.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not, it's sad that it's come to that,
Right.
It's just, all right, I guess we're just making content is not even a thing anymore.
Because
It's-
remember like 5 years ago when it was controversial to have a sponsor in your video? And now it's kind of controversial if you do something really weird with kids. And
Yeah.
it's just like what's
I don't know.
I mean,
happening?
YouTube's changed and evolved so much. Thinking about just like I'm going on like a content perspective.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always this kind of like YouTube meta about the content you should make. Because I remember like commentary channels or drama channels didn't really exist like 5 years ago. Because what like I don't know. Because I remember thinking, why would anyone be interested in YouTubers talking about other YouTubers?
I guess it's like the way that, the reason why TMZ exists, right? Like,
Yeah.
it gets to a point, right, where YouTube got so big and you can only, like, the people, I mean, I basically only watch YouTube at this point. I watch anime, I watch Netflix, but it's like 80% YouTube, right,
Yeah.
what I watch.
Yeah.
It would make sense that then a market would appear for being able to just talk about YouTubers
Yeah.
and YouTuber drama and dumb shit that YouTubers do, because, my God, do they do some dumb shit.
Yeah, and a lot of them unfortunately get away with a lot of it as well.
And I think it's just because was not as many eyes on just what YouTubers were doing back then, because it was just like, why are you talking about a YouTuber? They're not a celebrity. They don't have any power. Why, you know,
As much as all these YouTubers like to wish they're a celebrity.
but
We're mainstream.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, Twitter has just been. I've always enjoyed Twitter because I've always said to people, it's kind of a nice in between of social and business, at least in terms of like as a YouTuber using Twitter.
I don't understand what like a regular person would need Twitter for. Like,
Right.
I think it's a cesspit.
I never used Twitter before I started YouTube.
Like-
I
No,
never
nor did
cared
I.
about Twitter or anything like that. But you know, I think as a YouTuber, it's kind of
You have no choice.
it's almost required at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Next to a YouTube channel.
I mean, I doubt we would be friends, right? If we didn't all
Yeah.
have
No.
Twitter and socialize
like
with each other.
to me, Twitter is just basically Facebook for
Yeah.
influencers online, I guess. Like, I get to follow what everyone else is doing, not just
Yeah,
in,
basically.
not just in my own circles, but in like other circles as well.
Yeah.
Because that's basically the only reason I go on Twitter, apart from lewds and memes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
porn and
The rest of Twitter just makes me
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I totally
because
get
you
it.
can't you can't debate anything really on Twitter.
No,
There's
no.
and people aren't interested in having like their opinions
The moment you join
changed.
in on an argument, you've already lost.
That's why, like,
Yeah.
you know, obviously we're all human. We all have opinions on things.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why most of us just don't comment on anything because it's like if you comment, you lose.
Yeah,
like
we
if you
can't-
get involved, you lose.
we can't be fucked to
Yeah.
join in on this losing
Yeah.
battle, right? It's,
No.
it's,
I
it's
mean-
just a waste of energy.
It's like if I wanted to get involved, I don't think Twitter is the right platform
No,
to get
no,
involved
no.
for like a lot of things. Like some things, yeah, definitely. But I feel like there are other platforms or other means that you could use to get involved.
Definitely. And it's just like it's crazy how even the most agreeable statements can become controversial on Twitter. Like I saw someone who was just like, don't fuck kids, and there was somehow people in the comments.
How dare you?
Somehow there was someone commenting like, you know, as a playing devil's advocate. And it's like, what? This
Yeah.
is just like drink water. Like, I thought this was like, you know, a thing that everyone was just understood was the thing to do.
Unfortunately,
But
common
somehow-
sense nowadays is not as common as we'd like to think it is, right?
Which is why I just, again, like even if I think me commenting on something
Yeah.
or like, you know, getting involved with a drama is like a slam dunk, I'm like, it's not worth it. It's gonna be like 4 people who are like, I don't know though. Like,
Like you could say you got to drink water to survive, and people would be like, "But I like drinking Coke.
yeah,
Can I not? Are you telling me that I can't
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
Coke?
you fucking right wing, like water.
Coke was once water, right?
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's
I kind of
unfortunate.
why I just kind of like switch off and post
Yeah.
my occasional memes to Twitter and get on with my YouTube.
I feel for me, it's been like that for the past couple of years, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of gradually gotten worse
Yeah,
and worse
yeah, it
until
has.
today. I mean, before I wouldn't hesitate to post an opinion about something, regardless of how controversial it was.
Yeah, I noticed you don't really post your opinions much anymore.
No,
Yeah.
because every time I do,
You got a lot of
there's
shit.
always some group of people who's just so quick to coming on to me like, oh, no, you're a terrible person for saying this very
you are.
personal opinion.
You are, Joe. You are.
Yeah, apparently, according to the internet, I am. And now I just, I don't know. There's so much, as you said, there's so much I want to say, but I guess that's the double-edged sword of having a big following and,
Yeah, yeah.
and a quote-unquote influence on the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah, exactly.
I
right?
think I've become content with not having to say my opinion. I mean, you look at like J.K. Rowling and you're like, please stop.
Yeah, please.
Please stop saying your opinion, right? But like, this is the thing, right? You get famous or whatever, and you think my opinion deserves to be heard.
Yeah,
it's
right.
a right for it to be heard. And it's
Yeah.
like, shut the fuck. No one gives
Yeah,
a fuck what you
sometimes
think.
no one gives a shit.
I think like that's the biggest reality check as a YouTuber is like just learning that no one gives a fuck what you think. Like just make videos for me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I mean, like for me, I see myself the same way as I did like 10 years ago. Like we're all just fucking normal guys
yeah.
who had like the same fucking life as most other people watching this. You know, I went through fucking university. No one gave a shit about my opinion back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Why would people give a shit about my opinion now because I have shitty opinions on anime? Like
Yeah, yeah.
that just doesn't make sense to me, you know?
I just don't think my opinion is better than anyone's. I think
No.
my opinion is just as shitty as some people.
And isn't it hilarious how so many people who are against like channels like us, who are so quick to be like, oh, he thinks that his opinion is so much more grander than everybody else's because he has a large following, he has influence on the internet. And yet we never say or mean that ever. Like they're putting words in our mouth.
I mean, it happens. I just kind of accepted that stuff happens like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get too beat up about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of like you said, the double-edged sword of having a very large audience. Like we could not talk to this large an audience if they were like in real person, they're in real life, and you're gonna get like something you're gonna say is gonna inevitably get misconstrued or something like that.
Yeah.
And some people are just not gonna like you.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time. And
It's a hard thing to learn that you're just going to have to accept that you're not going to be universally liked.
yeah.
It's weird. But you know what's a one good example is that I remember when you first started uploading videos, when you got that first dislike.
Yeah.
And you were like, whom's disliked this? Tell me thy name. You know, you're like, you want to find out why they disliked
Yeah.
it. And then like, if you're looking like down here right now, you can see like probably like 120 or like 300 or 1,000. I don't know how many views we had, right?
Yeah.
You just accept really quickly that you're going to have like 200 dislikes straight
Yeah.
away. And you
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why 30 people dislike my video when it goes live, but it happens to everyone. And I want to know why. But it's something that as a YouTuber, you just come to accept. But I guarantee if any of you start a YouTube channel, you'll know when you get that first dislike because it's going to sting. And you're going to
Yeah.
be like,
But I've
why?
always said to people who, because so many people when I go to panels or conventions
yeah.
or whatnot, the question that I'm sure all three of us get asked is, how do you start a YouTube channel? Like, what tips do you have for
Yeah,
a beginning YouTube channel? And I've always said to people that the moment you start getting dislikes on your video is when you know you've made it. It's because it's true. Because now,
it's actually
yeah,
true. It's
because-
actually true.
or you fucked up.
or you fucked up really
Yeah.
bad. But if your videos start to get maybe like 1 or 2 dislikes to like,
yeah.
maybe 10 times the amount of likes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then that means you've made it because now you're reaching a wide enough audience that you won't be able to please everybody. And that's the end goal really for content
Yeah.
creators, right?
Oh,
Because,
definitely.
because I think it's kind of futile that there are some content creators out there who are just really desperate to try and please everybody. And I always just want to tell those people, dude, it's not going to work. Like, you just have to accept that if you're on the internet, people are going to hate you for no reason, and you just have to accept that.
Yeah.
Like,